Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvadom Ganganapade Namaha. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Deva Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sarva Mangala Mangale Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharane Trambake Devi Narayani Namostute. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Shri Sadgurubhyo Namaha. Shri Hanumate Namaha. Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 15th of August 2025. I want to offer my prostrations to all the great sages and to Bhagavan residing in the heart of every single being. We are continuing our journey forward to unravel the mysteries of Prem-Bhakti, Prem-Lakshana Bhakti. This is our destination in life. If we can move into that dimension by Krupa of all the great sages and Shri Radhika Ji, the forms of Goddess, forms of Devi, then our life is reached its full purpose, its full potential. Now please remember, even when Prema Bhakti opens up, which is a very big thing obviously, it's a highly evolved state. Even when that opens, our activities continue. Our day-to-day actions continue at the Vyavarika level. So if you remember this point from the Vedanta studies that we have been continuing, there is Vyavarika Satyam, Pratibhasika Satyam and Paramarthika Satyam. There are three levels of the Satyam. Satyam is only one. Truth is only one. Why are there three levels? Because in the relative level, Vyavarika level, we are having financial transaction. We buy products and goods and services. We work somewhere. Somebody pays us. We might be paying somebody else. Life goes on like that. We have clothing that we have to wear. We have food to eat. We have, where bodily functions are going on. This is called Vyavarika Satyam. Let's be very clear about the terminology. So it will open up for us. It will open up for us the path into how to live inside this sansar with Prema Bhakti. So that's what I want to talk briefly about today. Then we'll stop a little early today because we have the Shri Suktam Havan on Fridays. So we'll be starting that at 8:45 a.m. sharp and doing 15 rounds of Shri Suktam with some additional mantras and all. Right, so very interesting. Vyavarika Satyam is definitely there. There's family, there's friends, there's people, there's all kinds of experiences that are going on. Now, in that functional, interactional level, a decision has to be made about what actions to take. And this is the question of dharma. Dharma has to do a lot with this level. Dharma doesn't mean religious affiliation. It means what actions should I be taking at the Vyavarika level? It has very much to do with that. And for most people in life, right from childhood, because it is natural this way also, each human being is driven by the internal vasanas, internal desires. They're to push the individual further in so many different ways. And every action we perform, whether it is physical, verbal, or mental, creates impressions inside the mind. Right? So the formation of vasana has 4 parts to that, 4 levels. The first thing is action. By taking action of different kinds, verbal, mental, physical, it generates an impression. Any action, all actions perform, and they create an impression. Right. So, for example, someone who is going to a local restaurant and orders a sandwich, a vegetarian sandwich, let's say, right? That is tomato cheese sandwich, whatever. Some kind of a sandwich you order. What does that do? It is action. When we experience that, it leaves an impression on the mind. That impression is called sanskar. So the initial impression, this initial impression is called a sanskara. It is like a seed planted in the subconscious mind. So all of our experiences in life are sanskaras, meaning that they are stored. But the word sanskara refers to impression. And it remains. The tendencies get stronger and stronger and stronger the more they're repeated. That is the third part. That is called tendency. So the tendency can be translated, mostly as vasana. When similar actions are repeated, these sanskaras are reinforced and coalesce into a more potent force. I hope that makes sense. If I have the same sandwich 5 times in a month, or in 3 months, or 10 times, and I say I like it, there's a sense of liking it. Right? So the experience is there, but there's a sense that I like this object. Okay? So we repeat that experience because of the liking of it. So when similar actions are repeated, these sanskaras are reinforced and coalesced into more potent force. The force increases. So let's say you have not had that sandwich for 6 months, 8 months. All of a sudden, I'm hungry and I'm passing the restaurant, passing some place. This was real nice. Let's go back again. Let's go back again. Let's go back again. This goes on. And human being is lost in this. In everything, in relationships, in the sexual experience, in the food experience, in the every kind of experience you can just think of, The more intense aspects of these are all of the addictions. That is more intense aspect. Everything. Taking trips, going here, going there. Experiences of life. Experiences of life are always going to be there. But when there is the demand for their repetition, that, this was nice, I went to this mountaintop before, I want to go there again, and then I want to go to another one, then another one to go to another one. And life just finishes that way. Life just goes on that way. And that's it. So one doesn't actually enter into the bhakti dimension. One lives a life based on the slavery of vasanas. बहुत ध्यान रखना इस point पर. The slavery. Deenta, deenpanu, slavery. To be a slave to the vasanas. But to be a devotee of Bhagwan, Bhagwan ke bhakta banna, Bhagwan ke das banna, that removes the slavery of the vasanas. And the vasanas which actually that give rise to desires and urges that impel each human being to perform actions again and again, which perpetuate the cycle, that cycle is broken. That doesn't mean we are not living in the world with our regular objects and everything. Yes, we are. But the objects do not hold any more grip on the individual. For example, Sachin is sitting here in Newark, Delaware, and saying that, I have to go to this park or these mountains, or I have to go here, I have to go to this place, that place. Then I'm happy. But I could take a walk in my own neighborhood and be very happy. That doesn't mean I shouldn't go to those other places. But if I go there, my happiness is fine. It is what it is. If I'm here, happiness is fine. Jaha hai, waha anand. This is the Siddhant. Where I am, there is God. Where is God, I am, and there is Ananda. It's not about going somewhere to get Ananda. Then one is a slave of vasanas, slave of experience. The slavery of experience is of this type. If this happens, if I go here, then I will be happy. If so much money is earned or so much money is obtained, which we need obviously in life, but then I am happy. No, this is the whole point of doing the Mahalakshmi Puja, which we'll be doing in just a few minutes here. The whole point is that thy will be done. She'll take care of it. Whatever we need will be provided. As long as we are connected to Parameshwari. We don't have to worry about it. We do our duty. We don't get into this Vasana modality. See, Bhakti plus, it's a small equation. Bhakti plus Divya Ichha. equals prasannata. Bhagwan ki bhakti, love for God. Ichcha, do we have desires? Yes, but keep the desires at the highest level. We have limited, low-level desires. But when the desires are refined, that is called sadvasana, by the way. Asadvasana transmutes into sadvasana. That sadvasana, once we develop that is bhakti plus sadvasana equals bhagvat prasannata. That is what takes us close to God. Then we are not bothered by the changes that are going on in the world. The world is always going to be changing. We do our duty. We are concerned about the world, but we are not entangled in the problems of the world. We do what we can, do our duty, wish well for it, do what we can locally, leave it alone. It will take care of itself in time. Everything is temporary anyway. We live in this world as if it is a permanent thing. We know it is not. Everybody knows it's not permanent. This body is not permanent. People are not permanent. Nothing is permanent. We know that. We know that very well. But we live in ajnan thinking it is permanent. We live as if it is the whole and soul. And that is where the trouble comes. That is where the problems come. So again, now I just want to mention one or two quick points and I'll stop here. We want to go from Ashubha Vasana into Shubha Vasana. It's a transition. And from Shubha Vasana into Sadvasana. There are 3 levels. 3 levels. Ashubha Vasana kya hai? Kaam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Matsar, fear, tension, worry, addictions. All this thing. This is Ashubha. People smoking cigarettes, buying tobacco, sniffing, all this thing. Drinking alcohol and God knows what people are doing all this thing to them, to bodies and mind and everything. What is all this thing? Ye kisi ka avgun lena, taking faults of others, finding faults of others, harming the nature, for benefit, harming somebody or something for one's benefit, even harming one's own body and mind for one's vasana level benefit. What is this called? Ashubha Vasana. Bahut clear hona chahiye. The problem in life is this is not clear. Clarity. What is called clarity? That is called Samyak Jnana. First level Samyak Jnana is this. मेरे जीवन में, आपके जीवन में, सब संसारी जो everybody's in the sansar, we all need to have this clarity. The life's problems can be solved so beautifully. How much money, time, effort is going into cigarettes, into alcohol, tobacco products, into the gambling machines, into all these things, How much time on drugs, illicit drugs, even doctors over-prescribing medicines that they shouldn't be prescribing because they just want money. That happens throughout the whole world too. I don't want to discuss that subject. You see, so the point is that all of this kind of stuff, and इसमें से क्या होता है, in Gujarati we say जीवनी अधोगति था. The Jivatma who is doing this is going to be bound at levels you cannot imagine. इसीलिए ये सब क्रिया completely बंद होनी चाहिए. नहीं होती. It doesn't stop. We don't want to stop it. We meaning humanity. There's always going to be groups of people, maybe large numbers, who don't want to stop. Leave them alone. You can't do anything. Bhagavad Gita also teaches us clearly, leave them alone. They are on a different path, that is path towards more and more binding and suffering. That's the only path that they are on. And they are not going to come out of that path until they are blessed by great saints. भगवान के जो बहुत बड़े बड़े संत हैं, by their presence, if they see those saints, by their proximity, their sanskaras change. Otherwise, the Jivatma is doomed in Maya. Think about this point. Doomed. This is why we do, thank God there are temples, there are pujans and havans and everything that is done in Sanatan Dharma. Thank God for that. Because all the people living, all the Jivatmas, even they don't know what is going on, they are affected by it in a very good way. Otherwise, the people that are stuck inside this Prakriti, there is no way out for them. Because all they do is thrash themselves and the people around. This is called asadvasana, ashubha vasana. इसमें से निकलना. Of course, there's people who realize that this is all terrible. We want to get out of that. वो भी एक realization हो सकता है. But that's the foundation. From that, level 2, Shubha Vasana, pure tendencies, auspicious tendencies. Why we do Namah Shivaya mantra? Shiva mantra is auspicious mantra. It brings about auspiciousness. These are positive imprints created by thoughts and actions of kindness, compassion, selflessness, spiritual seeking. They lead to peace, contentment, and spiritual progress. You see these qualities. The transition from Ashubha Vasana into Shubha Vasana, बहुत बड़ी important बात है. This is the foundation. This is level 2. Level 1 to level 2. Level 1 meaning is the base level. That's where people are. It's all mixed. Good things are there, bad things are there. Shubh, Ashubh mix. That is where we start. We want to go from there into level 2, that is Shubha Vasana. Yes, beautiful. बहुत सुंदर बात है. And then in that Shubha Vasana, these are positive imprints. They say get rid of the negative stuff in life. We say that all the time. Get rid of the negative completely. Make a determination. Bhagwan ki mala lena. This is the sadhana for today. I wish I had more time, but I do have to stop in just a minute here. Bhagwan ki mala lena. You see, I'm holding a mala in my hand. Hold it in your hand. Sit in front of the Lord, in front of Ishta Devata. हमारे मंदिर है, घर में मंदिर है, कोई भी मंदिर में जाना. Take a mala, keep the mala with you, put some tilak on the forehead, and ask for blessings to move out of this ashubh state. इसमें से निकलना है, इसमें से रहना ही नहीं. And that prarthana, that prayer, if it is done with genuineness, is heard by God, and Bhagwan ke blessing aate, the saints ke blessing aate, the blessings come, and we are able to start the journey forward. Then life becomes beautiful. Yeah, it's not always easy, but it's going to take its own time. Otherwise, our ahankar, I want this thing, I want this, I want something other than the Divya Bhakti. Then that will spin the individual around. You see, so that has to be realized. And then what will that give me? It gives pain. Going into Ashubh Vasanas gives pain, suffering, trouble, damage. This is why there are so many people suffering in the world. Because they have mistaken the Ashubh Vasana for Ananda. And they experience but there is an experience there also. You cannot deny that. So why do people drink alcohol? Not because of alcohol. I'm just using that as an example. Hard liquor and all that thing. You see, they have these after parties and all that. The purpose of that is to get stone drunk. What is the point of all that thing? You see, the point is to get an experience that is normally person doesn't engage in. They want to get into a different zone completely. That's why. It's not the alcohol or that's not what they want. They want that experience. They're looking for Ananda. You cannot get Ananda that way. It's a different kind of experience. So Rajogun, Tamogun, some other kind of experience is there. And that is where the mind and its disturbances temporarily are not active in the usual sense. It's a relaxation. It's a drug essentially, right? It's a substance. Pornography is a drug. What is pornography? It's a drug only. Sex is a drug actually. It's become a drug now. And then people they mix that with cocaine and alcohol. ऐसा सब चलता है संसार में. And when you keep doing that, it damages the whole brain, damages the body. Like methamphetamine and these drugs, it put holes inside the brain. This is where it leads. Buddhi nash. Bhagavad Gita में ही लिखा है. But the person seeks that experience again and again and again and again and again. This is called Vasana. This is called Ashubh Vasana. These are the strong tendencies that keep developing. There are so many points I want to cover. Let me just mention one more thing, then we'll stop. Self-inquiry, vichar dhara. Inquire into who am I. Selfless action, karma yoga. Spiritual practices like dhyan and pranayama. Cultivating positive tendencies, Shubha Vasana, knowledge and wisdom, Gnan, all of this will take us out of the Ashubh Vasana into the right dimension. Otherwise, we will be finished. Otherwise, the person's life is lost in Ashubh Vasana. And it can lead to terrible things. Alcoholism, extramarital affairs. It can lead to violence, domestic violence. It can lead to divorces. It can lead to hatred. It's a downward turn. Cross addictions, they're called. One addiction begins, another one begins, another one. It just goes on. So it's a downward fall. The money we have, that gets destroyed. So this has to stop. And for it to stop, we have to realize this is the grace of Mahalakshmi. Mahalakshmi ki krupa aisa nahi you become a billionaire. Maybe you might, but if you know how to use that energy, that's fine. Mahalakshmi ki real krupa kya hai? That ye sab ashubh vasna stop ho jati hai. That is the krupa of Mahalakshmi ji. We don't understand that thing. That ashubh, when once the ashubh vasna in the activity thereof stops, money is going to be saved. Buddhi, man, pran, indriya, everything is going to be conserved in the right way. One will not be running inside the sansar with agnyan. That is called Mahalakshmi. And when we realize this, then Ananda begins to open. Then we are ready for Param Bhakti, Prema Bhakti, Vedantic realization. Ye sab aage ki baat hai. Right? So these are some foundational ideas here today. What is the sadhana for today? Before we close, very simple. Mala lena, take a mala. Sit in front of the Murti of Bhagwan Krishna, Radhika ji, aapki jaisi ichha. Shiv ji, Devi, Mata, apne jo गुरु परंपरा है उनके आगे बैठना एंड प्रार्थना करना, नमः शिवाय और श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम, श्री कृष्ण शरणम मम, जो नाम लेना है भगवान का नाम लेना, एंड आस्क दैट परमात्मा टू रिमूव कंप्लीटली दिस अशुभ वासना. Ask and you shall receive, knock and the door shall be opened. Jesus says this in the Bible. This is our sadhana for today. So with that, let's stop here for now. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvadom Aim Rim Klim Chamundaye Viche Om Shrim Rim Shrim Kamale Kamalale Prasida Om Shrim Rim Shrim Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha Divilingaya Nama Urdhvalingaya Nama Anandalingaya Nama Dvadesh Jyotirlingaya Namo Namaha Om Namah Shivaya Om Shri Radha Krishna Arpanamastu Om Rim Svaha.